Hello, everyone. Coming at you live from Main Street Moto here in Las Vegas. I am Tara, and this is
Steve. Hello, everyone.
And this is our first Ask a Tech of the year. So Happy New Year. Hope everyone's 2026 is off to a good start. I know for some of you, a lot of you in the country, you're like buried in snow and ice and cold, and we feel for you. We grew up in that, and it's brutal and it's miserable. But today here in Las Vegas, it's a beautiful, sunny, low 60s, and we're not complaining about that.
No, not at all. Could be very worse.
So for any of you that need to get out of the snow, come out to Vegas, come visit us, say hi, stop by the shop, warm yourself up. So while we're waiting for people to join in, we'll talk about a little recap of the beginning of the year for us. And we headed out to Anaheim for the AIM Expo, and that was really cool. That was
really cool, yeah.
Power sports industry trade show for those of you that might not be familiar with it. And so they've done it the last couple of years here in Vegas, and that's been nice and convenient. And we were hosting the last few years. We were hosting a kind of a cocktail party for the industry to get together here at the shop called the Motorcycle Industry Gathering, which we were working on with Marilyn Stemp and Penny Osiki. And so we had such a great time doing that event, and everyone loved it so much that we took the show on the road to Anaheim, and we hosted that at Lifestyle Cycles, which is a really, really cool indie Harley shop in Anaheim. Absolutely incredible team over there.
Dude, he's got an awesome shop.
He does. He does. I had some shop envy. It's like so much space, and he's got 2 levels, and he's got an amazing selection of apparel and merch and bikes, and just a really, really great people. Our kind of people. So if you're in SoCal and you need some parts or some work done on your Harley, make sure you go check out Lifestyle Cycles. And then AIM Show. So
AIM Show was cool. We saw a lot of our vendors there. We saw a lot of people, shaking hands and kissing babies. I guess that's what they call it. But that was good stuff. Some good products are coming out on the market for this year.
Yeah.
Good relationships with all our vendors and new vendors that we're meeting, and some old faces that we've known for a long time.
Yeah.
So that was it was good to get out of Vegas for a minute and
nice.
Explore Southern California. That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. That was great. The weather was really nice there too, and so walking around Anaheim, because driving and parking is maybe worse than Vegas.
Right.
So that was great. And then we, when we were heading out of town, we cruised down to Venice Beach to grab lunch and a walk along the beach, and that was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Stuff we don't get to do that often. So
isn't it? We walked away with some reggae music.
Oh yeah, them bullshit CDs.
I think we paid $2 for one blank CD, and well, it wasn't blank, but it didn't work. And then another recording of reggae. But we're supporting Jamaica, man. It was the
cool.
people that you meet on Venice Beach. It's a trip.
Yeah.
So
I guess we could talk about like some projects we have going on at the shop.
Yeah, why don't we give an update on what's cool and interesting that you're working on at the moment, Steve?
I'm doing a chain drive conversion on old Softail, so we'll get to that. We're also doing, actually a kid brought in his first bike that he bought. Yeah. And it's like a old Katana. We call them the Canatunas. But actually it's cool that the kid's getting on a 600 street bike, like an early one, so they're kind of tame. Mm-hmm. And so the issue that we have with that though is the kid bought it, doesn't know anything about bikes, gets it home, the thing just runs horrible. It's in like bad shape. So he went to his father, and his father had brought the bike in for us to give it an assessment. Yeah. Which should have been done before you purchased it.
Yeah, so you have an idea of what you're getting
So
into.
you have a really good idea. We charge like an hour labor. We go through the bike front to back, see what it needs.
Yeah.
The issue that I have with that bike is when he brought it in, it was in pretty rough shape. Carburetor work, brake work, valve adjustments, oil leaks, tires, chain sprockets,
It's like a laundry
pretty
list.
much everything. And you go buy the bike, you buy it off a marketplace or something
Yeah, I
like
think
that,
that's where
and you spend, I don't know what he spent on it, but I'm going to say he probably spent at least $1,000 on the
I think
bike.
I want to say it was like $500 or $600.
Yeah,
you know,
okay. So other than that,
hopefully not any more than that.
hopefully, but he brings the bike in and we pull an estimate together on it, and we're pushing $3,000 to get this thing back to safe and operational where everything works.
And not only that, but that particular bike. So Devin, one of our techs, he bought one off of Marketplace recently as well, that needed some work, and so he got a pretty good deal on it, I think, but it needs parts as well. And so what was he saying? The sprocket is like almost like unobtainium, right?
Rear brake rotor sprockets.
rear brake rotor.
Rear brake rotor. I mean, they're out there, but
He was saying like it was like $400, for a brake rotor for a bike that is maybe worth $1,000. So
hey, you got to have brakes though.
you do need brakes.
So the brake companies aren't dumb.
No.
They're going to charge a premium for parts that you need, especially if they're that rare.
Yeah, well, and the older bikes, those parts are.
And then I
harder to
start
find.
looking at stuff in my crazy head, and I'm like, well, that'll probably work off of this bike to that bike, but then you might get into some fabrication stuff, and
So sometimes there's bikes.
I
that
love doing that though.
You want to steer away from unless you're a professional mechanic, and ideally, if you're going to buy a used bike, get an assessment of the bike from a professional beforehand. As something, the service that we offer is, you could meet the seller here at the shop, and we'll give it we can do a quick once through and let you know, kind of like here's some things to be aware of, so that you know at least what to expect if as far as additional money you're going to have to put into it, or and a value of what the bike in its current condition is worth. So,
and what also that gives you some negotiating rights on the price of the bike. I mean, at that point.
Yep.
Because we already know what it needs, what it's going to take to get the thing safe and working, and you can negotiate with the seller at that point and maybe save yourself a little bit of money that you got to put back into the bike anyway.
Yeah. So a little bit of money on the front end can save you literally thousands of dollars on the back end, because one of the worst positions to be in is to have money that you spent on a motorcycle and not realize you have this much more money to spend on it and you don't have it in your budget, and we don't want a new rider to get frustrated to being in that situation either. So we are here to help you. We are here to help you with your new to you used bike acquisitions, and that's one of the reasons why what we sell here at the shop, we usually know a history on the bike, and we do a complete service on it, and make sure that the tires are fresh, the brakes are good, the fluids are changed at the minimum. If there's any leaks that need to be fixed, that's all stuff that we take care of before we put anything on our floor, so that you can buy with confidence.
Yeah, I don't want to sell junk. You know what I mean? There's a lot of companies across the country, across the world, that they just buy them at auction, they polish them up, and they put them on the floor, and then now you're dealing with the angry customer because the bike's not what you advertise it as. So
well, and there's a lot of those Facebook deals. There's that old adage: if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. I think Facebook Marketplace is the
there's good stuff there too.
There is good stuff, but you have to know what you're looking at.
Well, you better know what you're looking at.
It's always buyer beware.
And that's why we're here to help you through that purchase of that bike.
We are here to help. Let's talk about the Zippers Performance Kit. So
I've had a lot of inquiries recently about chain drive conversions on multiple different kinds of bikes.
Generally Harleys.
Yeah, because most other bikes are chain driven already. So I had a friend of mine, Virgil, he brings in his early Evo Softail, and the belts wore out, the sprockets or the pulleys are wore out. So he wanted to put a chain drive conversion on it. So my go-to at that point, there's a few companies out there that sell complete kits ready to go. And I'd rather go that route because it's less time on my part where I can just order one part number and we got everything we need. Choose your chrome pulley, your black or sprocket, chrome sprocket, black sprocket, aluminum sprocket, and then whatever color chain we want. So we kind of just go through them little drop-down menus there. And zipper stuff is good quality, high quality parts. So I'm putting this kit together on this bike. It's on the rack right now.
We were gonna do a show and tell of the kit, but then the bike went on the rack yesterday before.
Yeah, I jumped the gun on that,
but that's okay. That's okay.
So
we can still talk about it.
But here's an issue I run into with it. Okay, I get the kit and the early Softails, Dynas, Sportsters, everything. The inside diameter of the pulley is like 1.9 inches. Now, after 99, 2000, somewhere around there, that diameter of that hub on the wheel is now 2.2 inches. So the pulley didn't fit on. The reason it didn't fit is because the bike has a newer wheel on an older bike. Okay, so that throws a little kink in production with the mechanics and stuff back there. So I could have, just called Zippers, ordered another sprocket for the later model wheel, or in my infinite wisdom, I just put it on the end mill and cut the hole bigger. And I'm pretty sure you were I did that this morning. So
yeah, well, we're gonna have to do it. We'll do a little reel of with the Zippers kid and Virgil and his bike. So stay tuned for that. But I got some.
So I just put the pulley in the end mill and cut the hole out to 2.2 inches. Fits on the wheel perfect now without spending another week waiting on parts and the bike's stuck on the rack. It's on and off the rack at that point. I'd rather get it all done at the same time. Yeah. So,
but this is something that we wouldn't have necessarily, you can't just visually tell by looking at the bike. So the kit was ordered for the year, make and model that the bike was, but at some point, and the front wheel has been changed out. It's got a bigger.
It's got a huge 21-inch front wheel.
Yeah, it looks good on there.
The bike looks good.
It's a good looking Softail. And Virgil is a really cool dude. So we met him many years ago when the shop was out at the Speedway, and he used to work for Freddie Spencer.
Freddie Spencer Racing Academy. Yep.
And so anyway, he's itching to get back on the road here. So we've got
so just a few little kinks in the system, but generally going back to the Zippers kits, they're usually plug and play.
Yeah.
They're available for Evos, Dynas, Sportsters, Baggers, Softails, obviously, all the way up to the brand new ones with the cush drive on them. And it's a conversion kit where you still run your cush drive, but we're on chain drive now.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of dyno testing on them to see how far we could go on that belt. What is the stock belt going to be able to take? And they hit pretty good. I mean, they hit pretty good. Now, longevity of that belt, taking that hit like that versus putting a chain on there, there's pros and cons.
Right. So I guess on that subject, we can talk about chain versus belt, and what are some of the reasons why you may want to convert from a belt drive to a chain drive.
Normally, people do it for looks, just for aesthetics, so it looks cool. Now, when I start getting into high horsepower bikes, I'm pretty much chain driving all of them because I've seen belts break, and you're in the 130 to 150 horsepower range on a new belt, like an old worn out belt. If it's 10 years old and it's got 30,000 miles on it, it's going to break. You start throwing big power at it. Yeah. But the chain drives, they require more maintenance. They get the wheel dirty sometimes. If it's over lubed, the chain it'll sling the chain lube all over the wheel.
What about changing gear ratio?
Gear ratio changes a little bit. It changes a little bit because
depending on the setup that you get with the sprocket sizes, right?
Yeah, now gear ratio is, infinite to how much room you have to deal with there. You could add bigger rear sprocket and a smaller front sprocket to give you your low end grunt right out of the hole.
Torque.
You could go the opposite route too, where it steals all low end grunt, but it puts it all up on the top end, so you're getting higher miles per hour out of the bike.
Right.
Now on these new fuel injected bikes, and probably some of the older ones, even carbureted bikes with electronic speedometers, that definitely throws off the speedometer. So now you're going to get a speedometer calibrator, or we're going to do it through the ECM of the bike, where we're going to change the gear ratios in the ECM of the bike so your gear indicator works correctly and your neutral light works correctly. And
Yeah.
so there's
to take into consideration.
there's pros and cons when you're doing this.
Yeah.
Because it'll definitely throw your speedometer off. But the stock speedometer is probably off too. I've tested them too in bone stock condition, and where the faster you go, the faster it reads. And I don't know why. I think they
do you have
they
any?
do that. I think all vehicles do that. You know.
Read faster than you're actually going.
Yeah.
To try to keep you
Well, I hit
under
200 miles
under
per
the
hour.
radar, or to boost ego.
Yeah, either way. Keep you safer on the road. Let's put it that way.
Oh, so.
But I think zippers. There's a couple other companies too. Cruzy makes a good kit for like FXRs and stuff like that. That's a built kit. Now I've done my own in-house here. I built my own work orders for FXRs only right now, but I'll get into the Dynas and the Sportsters and the stuff like that, so I can have complete kits where I can, boom, just order all these part numbers and everything's there and it's bolt in, it's easy to go. Unless the wheels have been changed,
Yeah.
which is very common. I see that. Everybody's running the 9-spoke mags or 13-spoke mags, and I think the 9 spokes were all 1.9 on that diameter of that hub, and all the 13 spokes were 2.2. So if guys are putting 13-spoke mags on their FXR, we're going to have to order a different pulley, or we just cut it out at that point. I have the tooling in-house here to be able to do that.
Yeah. So there you go. More than some of you may ever need to know about chain drive. So that was great explanation.
Yeah, well, keep in mind too, we also, on all them bikes, minus Sportsters, you have to pull the whole primary off. Everything needs to come off because you need to access that belt pulley on the transmission and convert it over to a chain sprocket.
Right. So what do you estimate as like the time to do that?
Roughly 4 to 5 hours, roughly, depending on make and model.
Well, that's shop time. You know, you in your garage. You know,
in your
that's
garage,
having all the
it's
tools
like
available.
it's like 12 beers in 3 days.
How many beers does that job take?
So
anyway,
unless you're proficient on it, but if you're, but that all changes depending on your skill level. But
so let us know if you have any other questions about chain drive conversions, what your experience has been. So make sure you get your questions in so that we can answer them for you on our next Ask a Tech. So, all right, well, until next time, we'll see you guys later. Take care.
okay, thank you.